What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE considers two current stars all-time greats, Baron Corbin claps back at a fan, a former NXT Tag Champion retires, an ex-WWE star resurfaces in a horrible match, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlemania Shorts. And now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at WWE now considering two current stars as all-time greats. Our top story today takes a look at how WWE are now branding two specific WWE stars as all-time greats. The names in question are Bayley and Becky Lynch. Both women are without question two of the most talented and decorated female stars ever, and this likely explains why WWE have decided to label the two with this tagline. Dave Meltzer would discuss this on the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, and this is what he had to say. The all-time great tag suits Bayley and Lynch because they are one of the most recognizable names and best in-ring performers in women's wrestling history, and it works for their current storyline with Lynch teaming with Lita and possibly Trish Stratus, two of the greatest female WWE stars ever, against Damage Control at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Do you think referring to Bayley and Lynch as all-time greats is warranted? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, business is booming for WWE. Ever since Triple H took over WWE Creative, the WWE product has vastly improved, and so has attendance numbers. This has continued following the Royal Rumble, as Sean Ross Sapp tweeted yesterday that this week's edition of SmackDown was the highest grossing event in that market for WWE. Per internal WWE Live Events reports, last night's WWE SmackDown at the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut was said to be the highest grossing event in the market in WWE history. This is fantastic to hear, as WWE, specifically the Bloodline storyline, is red hot currently, and fans are no doubt in for an exciting WrestleMania season. Next up, does Roman Reigns deserve a prestigious award? Michael Cole revealed last week that the WWE deserves an Emmy Award for their Bloodline storyline, and now Paul Heyman has gone one step further by stating that Roman Reigns deserves a solo Emmy Award for his recent work in WWE. The legendary manager recently spoke to Variety, and this is what he had to say. I will honestly state that I'll put Roman Reigns in his portrayal of the Tribal Chief up against anybody right now in how he's approached a reality-based character of the top star of the industry. We're trying to present a body of work that exceeds all boundaries and limitations that have been imposed upon this industry, either self-imposed or imposed by the predetermined notion of what this business is by the outside world, as evidenced by the fact that we're still sitting here today talking about the unfathomable concept of the Emmy Awards, because a year ago we would have been laughed out of the conversation, but this is what we strive for. Reigns is now set to face Sami Zayn at the Elimination Chamber event next week, and then Reigns is set to collide with Cody Rhodes in one of the main events of WrestleMania 39. Next up, a popular Wrestlemania rumor debunked. And one of the top rumors that has been circulating around during WrestleMania season this year is that WWE are planning on splitting the two world titles. However, according to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio, this was never planned. The original creative plans for WrestleMania were to see Roman Reigns take on The Rock, presumably for both titles in the main event of Night 2, whilst a new title would be created for Night 1 of WrestleMania and would feature names such as Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre competing for the newly created title. Meltzer added, the key to this is that they're not creating a new championship on the Saturday night show. Yeah, they were talking about doing a second title on Saturday night. If it was Roman and The Rock, then they were going to create a championship on Saturday night that Cody would have probably ended up winning, but it was Cody, Drew or Rollins that was going to come out of that one. If Rhodes wins the undisputed WWE Universal title at WrestleMania, is it possible that he'll appear on both Raw and SmackDown? If this is indeed the case, this possibly led to WWE not having a logical reason to incorporate two world titles into their programming. Do you guys think WWE keeping their two titles unified is the right move? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, the possible reason why WWE is pushing Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes' WWE return at WrestleMania last year was a return that nobody saw coming. Rhodes was one of the key figures in AEW, and the possibility of Rhodes ever re-signing with WWE again seemed unfathomable. A certain infamous wrestling personality believes that WWE are pushing Rhodes to influence other AEW talent to jump ship. The individual responsible for this theory is Eric Bischoff, who recently spoke on the Keeping It 100 podcast. As Bischoff revealed, I'm going to put my conspiracy theory right on here because I've been in the room and I've heard certain conversations throughout my entire career. Enough of them to lead me to believe there's always a little something else behind the scenes. But how sweet if, look, I'm going to talk about it if it was me, alright? If I was running WWE and this AEW thing comes along and there's this, little fight going back and forth. But now if I'm me and I see Cody get there and go and make me go, oh man, I wish I would have listened a little bit more. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring him back and I'm going to make him the biggest star ever in about 7 minutes so that everybody in AEW is going, damn, I should have jumped first. What do you guys think of Bischoff's comments? Do you think he's right? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, recent WWE Rehire retires. WWE decided to rehire Only Lorcan as a coach for WWE's PC in October last year. Whilst it was believed that Lorcan was still an active in-ring talent, it's been confirmed by Matt Bloom during an appearance on Real Radio Monsters that Lorcan has officially retired. Lorcan had a relatively successful run in NXT and even won the NXT tag titles with Danny Burch. Next up, our former WWE star resurfaces. At one stage it looked like Alex Riley was going to be a huge babyface in WWE, but for a variety of reasons, this never transpired. Nevertheless, Riley is now back in the squared circle and is competing for the NWA promotion. Riley would wrestle the promotion last night under the name of the Rare Breed Kevin Kiley and lost to EC3. But Riley had a bit of a bad night, as his return match featured several notable botches and it looked like the former WWE star had extensive ring rust. Next up, Baron Corbin claps back at a rude fan. Baron Corbin received a ton of criticism on social media, and one fan took it too far on Twitter yesterday by stating that WWE should outright fire Corbin. The now deleted tweet read, "If there's one person WWE could cut right now, waive the 90-day non-compete clause and have zero worry about any company signing him, it would be Baron Corbin." Corbin, who's rather patient when it comes to fans hating on him, decided to clap back at the fan by stating the fan's tweet made him sick. Seriously, some people just make me sick. I will never understand what's wrong with you. Next up, Booker T squashes beef with WWE legend. In 2006, Booker T and Batista got in a physical commotion during a shooting of the SummerSlam pay-per-view commercial. Thankfully, Booker has confirmed that there's no bad blood between the two, and on his Hall of Fame podcast, Booker recently revealed what would happen if he saw Batista again. If I saw Batista today, I would give him a hug and tell him how great he's doing in Hollywood. He's knocking it out. He's freaking killing it. And finally, AEW adding more pay-per-view events. Our final story today looks at the possibility of AEW adding more pay-per-view events to their calendar. Since their inception, AEW has taken a traditional approach with their pay-per-view schedule in the sense that they only have a select number of pay-per-view events a year. According to AEW President Tony Khan during an appearance on the John Chuckery Show, the option is there for AEW to expand their pay-per-view schedule. If the delivery method changes or streaming enters the conversation for AEW, because an AEW streaming platform is something I get asked about every day, I think for us right now, the way we're doing pay-per-views makes sense, but if the right offer came along on streaming to expand the calendar, that's something we had the capacity to do. I would only want to do it if we can make sure that we keep Revolution, Double or Nothing, Forbidden Door, All Out and Full Gear as premium top-end events like they are right now. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumours you need to know. Be sure to leave the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.